Welcome to the Tiger Football Report. This week, the Tigers take on the Villanova Wildcats. Come back. Head coach Rob Ambrose and I talk about it. This is the Tiger Football Report.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wildcats ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. You come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome, Tiger fans, to another edition of the Tiger Football Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with head coach Rob Ambrose. And coach, this week the Tigers taking on the Wildcats of Villanova. And for the first time in the history of the matchup between these two schools, Andy Talley will not be on the sidelines for the Wildcats. One of the greatest coaches in FCS history. He retired after last season. When you look at the film, can you tell that this is not an Andy Talley football team, or are the remnants still there?
Villanova is Villanova, and I think they're going to be that way for quite some time. I think Andy's laid a foundation at that institution that will exist, be strong, be sturdy, and well represent that institution for years to come. Mark's been on his staff for over 20 years, I think. So I really don't see this missing a heartbeat. They're the same Villanova team I've always seen. They're very, very good.
This is a team that likes to run the football. Matt Gudzak is their leading rusher. He's got over almost 200 yards, but averaging 5 yards a carry. They use 4 or 5 different guys. So they want to grind it out. They want to eat up the clock, and they want to be efficient offensively. So as a defensive team, what do you take from what you've done in the first 4 weeks and move it into this game against Villanova?
Well, the challenging part about it is they do a whole bunch of formational stuff. Unbalanced gun, not gun. The quarterback is a dual threat and one of the best in the country. Excuse me. They always seem to have offensive linemen that are either draft picks or going to be, have a possibility of being draft picks. And defensively, they play a scheme that nobody else plays. Not in our league. It's a 3-3. And last year they had a draft pick who was a game breaker. They don't have a rock star premier guy. They just have a whole bunch of really, really good guys. So, Villanova football is just fine, and we're going to have our hands full.
You mentioned the quarterback, Zach Bednarczyk, very efficient. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, no interceptions through the first 4 games of the year. This is a team that, lost a tough one to Temple, and then this past week lost to Albany in another tough game in overtime. So they've been in every football game, even though the record is just 2-2.
Oh, God, yeah. I think they're ranked in the top 10 or top 20, and for good reason. They got a lot of great returning stars, not just players, stars on their team. And they handed it to us pretty good up there last year, and our kids haven't forgotten.
What about your team and the effort that they gave against Stony Brook? And you had a lot of guys that were injured. We don't know if they're going to play this week or not. As you mentioned in the previous show, next man up. But now they're facing a team that, this is a veteran football team you're going up against this week, much like last week in Stony Brook.
It's just another week in the CAA. I guess you said the same thing to Albany, and they gave them everything they could handle, and they came down pretty much to the last play of the game. So just got to find a way to put our kids in really good position to be successful. And next man up mentality, both on and off the field. You know, when you don't have Morgan Mahalik on the offense and you don't have Zane Upshur as your captain on the defense, you don't have these guys on the field, you're losing their talent. But more importantly, you're losing their leadership in the huddles and on the field. And when things go awry, they're not there to bolster everybody. And we've talked about this as a team, that we need, someone has to fill that role. And it can't be a coach. Somebody's going to have to step up. And we say next man up mentality. It's just not that the position of an injured player. It's the position of a leader on the side of the ball. And some of the guys even today have already kind of talked about it and working towards that end, working towards the greater good of everybody.
You talked coming out of training camp that for you this was a fun group to coach. Mm-hmm. This is where that's going to have to come through, correct?
Mm-hmm. No. What's the saying? Adversity doesn't grow character, it reveals it. And God knows we've had enough of it, especially in last week's game. And how it just keep taking punches. Guys keep getting hit, and next guy goes in, and we're still going to find a way to be in this ball game. And it comes down to it. We made a couple more mistakes than they did, and that was the difference. And it really, really was the little things. And from Sunday and all the way through Monday, that has been the conversation. Just taking care of the little things. That we've kind of made a commitment to take care of each other and ourselves in reference to the little things that make us good. Not just talent, but the way to do it. Not just doing it, but doing it the way it needs to be done. And watching them even discuss it and focus it and talk about it amongst themselves, they're a joy to be around.
That's what makes you want to be a coach, isn't it?
And, well, that and watching them grow into great men.
Right. The other factor in this game, both teams are 0-1 in the conference. Nobody wants to start 0-2. So this is, I'm not going to say a desperation game, but this is a game where both teams have their backs to the wall as far as the CAA is concerned.
Well, let's not talk desperation in the month of September.
Right.
It's not like it's a sinking ship or anything. These are tough football games against tough competitors, and now we're in conference. So everyone counts just a little bit more. And we've even talked about this as a team. Politics can get in the way of records when it comes to the playoffs, but politics can't get in the way of conference titles. And if you win the conference, they can't keep you out. And so that is a discussion.
All right, a discussion we hope carries on through November. So the Tigers take on Villanova this Saturday at Johnny Unitas Stadium. Seems like it's been a year since the Tigers played at the U, but they'll be there Saturday night at 6 o'clock against Villanova. We hope you can come on out to the U. If not, Hall of Fame Tiger football coach Gordy Combs and I will have the game for you starting at 5:45 on CBS Sports Radio 1300 and TowsonTigers.com. So for head coach Rob Ambrose, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for joining the Tiger Football Report, and as always, go Tigers.